Joe and Shelby, after we first broke this story on Monday, it took Superintendent Pedro Martinez until today to speak with us. One of the first questions I asked him more than once is, why the silence?
We're not talking to you until now. It's Wednesday, and it happened on Friday. Would you have done that differently?
Well, and again, the reason we did it was because it was to respect Mike. He asked us to hold off on talking to the media, to the community, as well as his staff. And it wasn't until, frankly, the news got leaked or got released that we were forced to talk.
Martinez says he's still working out the retirement and severance package for former Chief Mike Mieras. Mieras had a 20-year career with the district, serving 12 of those years as police chief. Martinez said he made the move after a year's worth of thought before determining it was time for a fresh set of eyes.
We have right now more police officers on a per student basis than Clark does. We have a certain mixture of policemen in school buildings versus patrolmen. I want somebody to come in and just have a fresh look at this.
Martinez said in the end he wanted a new and fresh perspective to bring best practices and felt Mieras simply wasn't the right fit. It is a decision that not all of the trustees agree with.
I spoke with some of the trustees yesterday, and some of them were surprised. They didn't know anything about it, and they were surprised they weren't told ahead of time. Would you have done that differently now in retrospect?
So like I said, with 6 of the 7 trustees, they have known about the fact that I was contemplating this and that I was going to do this, over the last several months. What they didn't know was, the specific details of the day.
Well, in retrospect, Martinez said that he might have handled communication to his board a little differently, saying he's always striving to improve. One thing he wanted to quell, though, was any rumor that the dismissal had anything to do with the violence at Sparks Middle School or was tied to any other incident. He said he just wanted to make this change and that it's within his prerogative as superintendent to do so. Joe?
All right, very interesting. Thanks, Terry. And we spoke today with 2 Washoe County School District board members, Estela Gutierrez and Howard Rosenberg, to get their thoughts on the firing of Police Chief Mike Mieras. Here's what they had to say.
There's hard decisions to be made, and oftentimes they're not popular, and that's something, I commend Superintendent Martinez and his courage, because this is not something easy that you do overnight.
There are 2 things operating here. Number 1, the firing. There is nothing in his personnel folder that would merit anything near this. If indeed there has been something, you write it up and you put it in the folder. That's just good common sense. That's one thing. The other thing is, how do you do something like this without consulting members of your board? Now, I understand that there were some members of the board consulted. I'm not in one of the favored groups.
Martinez said he did consult with the board president and vice president prior to the decision.